Welcome to today's session where we're going to be having a Q&A with Luca Delloro. So,
Sonia is, I don't see Sonia or this is the other essay account. There is a two essay account.
exactly, Sonia is my colleague here at
Okay,
the
fine.
admissions office. So she's
That's
also with
cool.
us today in today's session. So
Okay, fine.
yeah, so we're definitely going to have more participants in the session. So what I would just like to do in this first part of the meeting is to just explain what this Q&A is all about. So we would like our participants to connect with our faculty. In today's session, obviously, we're having Luca. We want you to get inspired by the stories of our faculty. We want you also to ask for advice as you start to prepare for your unique adventure as an international student here in Barcelona. So yeah, I'm gonna start by introducing Luca. Luca is the tutor of our marketing and communication program, and he's had more than 30 years of experience in business and marketing. That's a lot of years of experience. Luca has worked for several multinational companies, including the likes of Nestle and Unilever. So definitely there is a lot to learn from Luca and his experience. And the idea of this session is just exactly for that. So yeah, I think that we can start off today's session right now. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, Luca, and just to start off, and for those, for our participants, I want you to feel free to ask your questions after we finish the first section of the meeting. Okay, it's really important that you feel that you have all your questions and doubts resolved in today's meeting. Okay, so let's go ahead, Luca, with my first question, which is basically, I want you to tell us a bit about your background and how you became an expert in the marketing field.
Well, as I usually say in class, I was 14 years old and I thought one moment, one day, I thought that business and marketing was good. And I was lucky because I've been in love since then about business, about marketing, communication, sales, digital, whatever. In fact, business. And that's my life. And so I studied a European baccalaureate in economics. Then I've done the university, Bocconi University in Milan, that is private, difficult, as we are, but even more probably, and in economics. I've done a master in international marketing, then an MBA, then a PhD in America. But yeah, this is my line. I mean, I've not changed since I was 14. I'm saying my attitude towards the business. I think this is my life, and I mean, clearly it is now. I mean, no doubts now. But I would say that yeah, you can have an early love like me, or an older one. It doesn't matter, especially for who is coming from other fields and other environments and studies. You can logically get in love with marketing, business, etc. At, I don't know, 25 years old or 30 years old. I mean, it's just after, as a master is, in fact.
That's awesome. I'm really happy that, you know, from a young age, you saw that, you know, business marketing was your passion, and you basically went, you know, directly for that. Luca, tell us a bit about your professional experience. So as I was saying before, you've worked in a lot of, you know, in various multinational companies that we know, Unilever and Nestle are, you know, very important companies and brands that are global. So tell us a bit about your experience working in
Yeah,
marketing for that.
before ending university, before that, unfortunately, not now, it is so frequent for the market and logically, and for COVID also. Before ending university and presenting my thesis, I started working for Unilever. Unilever entered university and offered jobs. This was fantastic because you could choose amongst many other opportunities that logically now it is a dream. Said that, why I started Unilever? For an opportunistic vision, because Unilever, as Nestle, Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, Apple, etc., are marketing university, are excellent in terms of curricula and excellent in terms of formation. In fact, in Unilever, I have done probably more. I've been almost 4 years there, and I've done more days of formation than days of work. So in fact, it's fantastic if you think, because you are at a special internal master, and in addition, you are paid for it. So this is excellent if you think. And this has been the start and the vision. The vision, I was clear. I've deleted completely some sectors, like the banking sectors, like sectors where marketing is not on the board, in the board of directors, when it's not crucial. So logically FMCG, logically online services, blah, blah, blah. Yes, and no other sectors. And I wanted to try at least this multinational life that is very particular versus other style of works, like small companies or your own work, your own job, logically being an entrepreneur. And I'm very happy to have done this, because in terms of formation is a continuum in terms of the studies you have done, and is absolutely useful to do masters or to do, bachelors for this type of works and jobs.
Awesome, that's great. Luca, tell us about what your current, what your current experience is. So, what are you doing right now in terms of your professional activities?
Right now, I am a professor since now 22 years in different schools. Yeah, as you know, Simisola, as you said, tutor for the master in communication and marketing. This is probably 50% of my life. The other 50% of my life is I have two consultancy companies since 1999, doing marketing consultancy, especially for a new starting business or startups. I'm covering especially non-operative, so strategic points like positioning, like relaunching products or communication activities. At the same time, I launched and I founded an NGO called Gold Stage. That is an NGO completely free, paid for me, for entrepreneurs, that I help entrepreneurs, because I want to help young or non-young entrepreneurs that don't know how to do, for example, a business plan or other things. So we help them to try to launch, at least to arrive to launch a plan or a product, or finish this objective and goal. Last year we had 6, and one is still alive, but I'm not responsible to launch the products. We are not business angels. We are what we are. We help to launch. So we are a platform to launch, completely free. Differences with other platform, 100% free forever. So you don't pay a single euro, a single dollar with us. It is 100% forever free. And I do other things, many other things, in fact, but these are the main ones.
Awesome, that's great. Luca, tell us, I mean, delving more into the academic side of the program, tell us a bit more about the subjects that you teach in the marketing and communications course.
Yeah, I teach one block that is probably the block of the master. That is strategic management. Strategic management is the thinking, is the engine, the mental engine of the business, and I think it is probably one of the most difficult to pass and to understand. Is very mental, is just conceptual, and is at the beginning. This is important because it's also, I teach also the same, but in a strictly digital environment. That is the same, but with a cut that is just online. So you need to think in the same way, but in a different environment for other courses. And I think this helps a lot, being at the beginning of the master, just to understand the thinking behind any business, successful business or non-successful business, and to understand how to read the business. You need to read the business to understand it and to try to do something with it. Or either you are an entrepreneur or you're a manager, but if you don't understand from a marketing point of view and a strategic point of view that you cannot be a director, let's say that, you are just an executor. That is fine. I mean, it's fine, but you see partial things. You don't see the whole film. I help people to understand the whole picture and the whole movie.
All right, that's great. Moving forward, Luca, this master's, the Master in Marketing and Communications, as well as all of the masters that we teach, uses a project-based learning methodology, teaching methodology. Tell us, in your opinion, why do you think this is the best methodology, in this program?
Yeah, we have a mixture between theory and practice, and I think this, for a business school like us, is crucial, and it's very important. The methodology is based on it's like a house. We have a house that is, the fundamentals of the house is the theory. You need to know at the beginning, or something like probably 40–50% of it. Otherwise, you will not understand. But then you need to practice. You need to build yourself a conscious learning. And this conscious learning is coming from what we call normally learning by doing, and the case or the project that we are doing in groups or individually is the way to do it. We have not invented the method. Logically, many universities are using it, but we do quite a lot. And for example, in my case, in the module about strategic management, I meant there is not an exam, but there is a project you need to present. And this, probably people here, Desiree, Batian, they're thinking that this is easy and this is easier, and this is fun. No, it is not. It is not, because it's, first of all, it's more in your hand than in my hand or in a say hand. So that means that we guide less than we check, or we criticize, or we ask. A bit like a client and a company. A client is asking as a client, it's not asking as your mother. So it could be quite difficult and tough. But this is professionally, professional. I mean, this is exactly what you could have ending the master. So yes, it is different. Yeah, is it easier? I would say no. I particularly love the project, because there is also one thing that we need to be aware about, and that is logic. That is I mean, you participate yes or yes. You cannot say, well, I will study. No. A project, either individual or in group, you need to do it. So you need to be more proactive at all, versus maybe an exam that you probably understood that the theory and you just repeat the theory. I'm not criticizing the old method of it. I'm just saying that this is a very good way to learn and do at the same time.
Awesome. And talking a bit more about this methodology, what can students expect from you as their faculty, as their teacher, and as their tutor in the program with this sort of methodology?
Yeah, it's a good question, because probably people here that we will see probably in our classes in few weeks, they ask that. And they say, well, if this is the case, I can do it at home by myself. No, for two reasons. The theory basis I said is the first one. You need to learn that. You need to learn the way to approach a content. For example, in the case of strategy, or in the case of product mix, or in general, all the communication, etc. You need to learn the basics, and the basis is to understand, to study. This is the classic. But then you need to be with us, and inside the class we can do it online. We have done it. Logically, we did it through this horrendous thing that is the COVID. We did it online just, but it's not the same. So you need to share with your group the project in itself. What's the role of the school and my role, or any professors in this case role? It's like a mentor. We help you to understand. We help you when you're stuck. We help you when you don't know how to get out in creativity or in some choices. And we help you also in the methodology, because it's a flow. I teach a flow, how to do it. And you need to accomplish with the timing. You need to accomplish as formal things of this project. At the end, you need to do it. So it's exactly like working in a company, and I'm the senior manager, and I'm helping you just to give your best at the end and present it in the best way possible.
Okay, and you know, we have students who always ask this question, you know, like we have students who come without marketing experience. They studied other fields, and you know, they see marketing as a way to grow professionally. And then we also have other students who have had or do have experience in marketing, and they see this also as an opportunity for career advancement. So my question is, what do you expect from students before they actually join the program?
There are two different approaches, Simisola, and one is the typical ex-bachelor who has studied somehow marketing or business. It depends, because it depends where they're coming. So the target and the little definitions are different. These are probably, they have what, at the beginning they have 20% advantages, because they know a bit more versus other people, engineers, journalists, biologists, whatever, that they have not done anything about that. Okay, but this, if you think this 20% is not more than a couple of months, if you are a good student, if you like the theme, if you are interested in what you are doing and studying, after 2 months, I see almost no differences between one and the other. What is the approach? The approach is an open mind approach. Is, I would say, a very, very open to absorb ideas, but not in the sense of a funnel that you just open your mind and you get inside like when you were 10 years old at school. No, you need to be critical. You need to understand and ask. You need to think if you agree or not with some ideas, or maybe look for it by your side, some other way to do it. I can say one concept, one way to do things. Business is not unique, fortunately. And so I'm saying the first day, I'm not right. I give you my ideas clearly. I give you my point of view, but I'm not right. I mean, if you say that there is another way to do it, that's right, probably. So this type of approach. At the end, it's a question of absorbing like a sponge, absorbing ideas, concepts, way of doing, and methodologies that you enhance your curriculum, you enhance your knowledge. And this, I think, you need to be mature for that. You don't need to, and you're not asking that essay is giving you for this master everything from A to Z. No, because we can't. There's not a single master in the world that can give that. At least 50-60% of the time is you, and 60% of the effort is you. It's not the professor or the school. We put the field, we buy the rackets, we buy the ball, but you play the game. And at the end is this. And so again, Michelle, Batian, Desiree, they will say, this is easy. They give me all free. No, well, you pay it, but you pay to play the game, by the way. But this is not the point. The point is that you need to understand the rules. You need to play in a different way, maybe. You need to be strategic in what you like or not. And you need to be critical with yourself to understand in a quicker and faster way. You need to be critical with yourself, not absorb to absorb. This, I think, Simisola, is the right approach, because I see, not because I'm seeing it, but I'm saying it, but because I'm seeing it in students, and our students at the end. That is the winning one.
Okay, and Luca, I guess my next question is more about the industry, marketing itself. No, over the last couple of months, we've had a very different, or the world has been changed. It's gone upside down. No, with the whole COVID situation. We see that a lot of companies have had to rebrand and think about their marketing policies. No, so my question here is, how has COVID, or how do you think COVID has affected the industry, and in extension, obviously, the program as well?
Well, I can say that there's no differences, that we are still good, we are still excellent, etc., etc. That probably is true. I think COVID has changed a bit the approach, but in a positive way. If you think this Zoom that is so familiar now for everybody would have not been so familiar 1 year ago. And this, I think, is a step on for business, for studying, for our school, and so on. This is not negative. I mean, I see you, I will answer to these questions, that this is, through technology, extremely positive. So COVID is, has been and is a sort of bomb, exploding in our lives, and there is something negative, the mask and so on, and something positive. And one is the way to learn and to teach. I certainly you explain to them, or they know already, that we will have blended classes, I mean, or mixed classes, online, offline, here, there, the screens and so on. So this 1 year ago was absolutely futurist. And this now is one, compulsory, two, up to date. All the schools are doing the same. All the schools, if they want to stay in the market, they offer that. But at the end, I was saying yesterday with a colleague, I'd say at the end, if you think tomorrow, or maybe in 1 year or 2 years, we will sell, as now we are selling courses online that would be the same, more or less the same, being here or in Lima. And this was not exactly that before. So being a student, I would say there are more possibilities, logically. You're more covered. I mean, this is not March when we started that. I mean, in 2 days. No. It's completely different. It's up to date. It's working well. It will work well. And everybody is now trained, tuned, and it's fine. But for any reason, you need to go home. I say that, and it's all because logically, our universities, our school is 90% or 95% international. So if somebody needs to go home, this is a good opportunity to roll into SA, because you know that you will not lose one single day. So negative things about COVID, yeah. Positive things, much more, I would say, much more. And in terms of deliveries, I would say no changes. In terms of quality of the course, no changes. Maybe even better, because logically we are obliged now to give more material, more parts to study by yourself, etc. That before maybe it was in the class and what a bit lost. Now it's not lost. Now it's on Canvas, disposal for you anytime. I would say excellent. And this is not all good. I mean, we need to maintain the distances, etc. But maybe this in 2 or 3 months it's over, and but we will certainly maintain this blended classes. That I think, and I'm extremely positive about that, is something that will stay, and something absolutely positive and good.
Great. I have 2 more questions before we open this to our participants for today. In line with, obviously, the good things that have come with this COVID pandemic, my next question is about what you think are some of the job opportunities, career advancement opportunities that students will have after, well, during this course and also after completing it.
Yeah. Job opportunities, again, COVID obliges to think global. If you think to come to Barcelona as a student and maybe work as many of our students did in the past, and they do probably also this year, I would say this is a bit more difficult this year, logically, for the crisis and so on. So I would say, in terms of job opportunities, you don't need to think about local opportunity just are reduced versus 1 year ago, but open mind. I mean, start thinking how to search, how to work, and how to offer yourself global wise. For somebody, maybe most of you, this is normal because you are young probably. But for some not. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Barcelona, or I say it's not helping you to find jobs in Barcelona. Yes, but in terms of time to search and time to receive, I would say think more outside than inside. And at the same time, you're here. That it's a good choice.
Great. And my last question, this is actually about, it ties into my previous question about opportunities and so on. Do you have in mind, or can you share a successful story from one of your SA students? A success story?
Sure. A student called Alina, that everybody knows Alina, because Alina was my student, I think 3 years ago. She's Russian. I would say something that is not compulsory. Students, Desiree, Batian, Michelle, it's not compulsory to get in love with local people. I mean, yeah, because she's, her husband is local, he's from Barcelona. But Alina ended the master then, because she had, I remember when I started the master and I asked everybody to introduce themselves, and Alina said, I want to open, like that, boom, I want to open an hotel. And I said, well, you want to open an hotel? Yes. I'm coming from Russia, but I want to open an hotel. And something like a year and a half later than this sentence, she opened a music hotel in Barcelona. It's a small boutique hotel, going well, not now, logically going bad now for the COVID, no tourists. So she became an entrepreneur, and then, not happy, she started a business about vegetarian food, something like that. I don't remember now the name of Wealthy, exactly. Wealthy is the name of the company. Just 1 year ago, about food and delivery in Barcelona in Spain. This is probably one of the most successful story. Logically, she is an entrepreneur, 100%, and she applied everything she learned, and she's happy here. Excellent. But also little stories about people working here, or just working here, staying here. There's another opportunity, I would say. Many of our students, Simisola, are remain in Barcelona and working in Holland, or working in Nigeria, or working whatever, because they are happy to stay here and they can work everywhere. This, I would say, in the future, this year especially, would be the most frequent situation.
All right, that's great. So yeah, at this point, I'd like to open up for questions from Michelle, Catherine, Desiree, Batihan. Do you have any questions that you've written down to ask Luca? If you do, you can start off by introducing yourself, where you're from, and then ask your question.
Hi, Luca. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your introduction.
Hello, Michelle.
Very nice. I'm from Colombia. I'm living now in Valencia. I signed up really quickly and briefly for this, but I just have one question, one main question. Is it possible to do the course online, or is this strictly in Barcelona?
It's a blended course. So that means that depending also, Michelle, depending on the COVID situation, logically we need to be prepared to switch completely online. If you ask, is it possible to do the course fully online? Yes, it is. It would be in the case of a lockdown again.
Okay.
But the classes are presential, and you can choose to stay in Valencia for any reason and follow the class, because you can link to the class live.
Okay.
I mean, I can teach the class and you can stay in Valencia, Michelle, and I will see your face as now in the Zoom screen.
While you're dictating the class.
This is what I mean for the blended class. So, but we are not saying that everybody's staying home.
Yeah.
in pajama. I mean, we are a presential school.
Okay.
And it's much better if you can come. And if you plan to come, I mean, this is the normal master, let's say like that. It's not right to say that, but it's presential.
Got it. Perfect. And one more question. I'm between studying sports marketing and, you know, marketing in general. What do you think would be like the major difference or pro? Like if I study marketing, can I relate it very easily to sports marketing? Is it better? Does it cover more? Or if, you know, if I really like sports and I have many ideas for entrepreneurship in sports, do you think it's better that I directly go to sports? I mean, what do you suggest?
I answer with an example that I know is about Decathlon, the French chain, you know. If you like sports, I love sports, as you. If you like sports, if you want to work in sports, if you want, for example, to work in Decathlon, when you enter Decathlon screening and hiring process, one of the first questions is what kind of sports are you doing or you have done? What is your palmarès in terms of prizes? So they are really, really into that. If you say I've not done any sports, you will not work in Decathlon. Okay. So why I'm saying this? Because if you love that at the point that you want to be specialized, absolutely specialized, and very, very, very focused on that. And I meant Decathlon, but I could say also other company that I know, I work for them and I love it, that is Nike. Logically, you need to be specialized. Also in terms, it's much better to be specialized in terms of courses. But if I ask you, Michelle, do you want to work for Coca-Cola? And you say, well, I love that. I love to imagine one day to work for Coca-Cola Colombia. So I said, so would say, so don't choose sports, choose something more transversal, like my master, our master, in terms of, it's more generic, but generic doesn't mean that is not so strong in terms of appliances at the end and possibility at the end. No, it means that you are flexible.
Yeah, you can apply it to sports. Got it. Perfect. Thanks so much. And then my other question was, does the course, I mean, I was also between, I don't know, I was also between digital marketing and marketing. I mean, does marketing already cover a lot of digital? I mean, of course, I don't want to be the, you know, the person to be doing like all the digital things, but I would like to learn about everything so I could potentially, if I do a startup, hire the people to do everything in terms of all of the digital elements. What's like the major difference between, for example, a master's in digital and a master's in marketing?
It's a good question. Everybody is asking me that. And the difference is the technique, but the game is the same. Absolutely. I mean, the two approaches are very similar. There's not at all the difference between on and off. Let's say a global master in communication and marketing, blah, blah, blah. It is probably 90% digital, because not for the master, but for the world and for the business. So it's logic that is very similar. But the differences are in the use of techniques and in the use of tools. Logically, I make an example. In the marketing and communication master, you do maybe 10 hours of SEO or SEM, okay? And in the digital, you do maybe 15 hours. So you are more technical.
Okay.
It's more in depth in the technical things. But honestly, I always say that I see every day, they are not the techniques that are making you stronger, but your thinking, not your doing with the hands, your thinking. If you're good, if you're intelligent, if you're a good student, if you have done a good master, you can apply quickly. You just understand how to do it, and you are exactly the same as a technical and digital.
Okay, so you basically cover all of the elements of digital marketing.
Absolutely.
You just don't go like very much into all the techniques.
Because we are up to date, and because
Okay.
this is the business today. So we study the business today and the business tomorrow. So it's digital.
Okay, perfect. That's it. Thank you so much for your time, Luca.
Thank you. Desiree.
Hi, good
How are you
afternoon.
doing?
I'm Desiree, I'm Italian. I'm doing okay.
Molto bene. Da dove?
Polignano a Mare.
Polignano a Mare. Bello. Tell me.
So, basically, my question has already been answered in a way, but so I'm strongly and intensively thinking about doing this master because I want to open more possibilities and opportunities in my career. And I come from a languages background, and I've studied a very short course in fashion styling. And so I wanted to know which job opportunities I would add on the potential list of job opportunities if I attend this master, coming from my background.
You're excellent. You're excellent because you combine important things. I would say quickly. My PhD is based on Italian fashion, and I love fashion. I work quite a lot in Italian fashion, and so I would say from inside that you have a strong possibility there if you have an international background, a master, blah blah blah, and also what you love. Certainly, like me, it is about Italian fashion and fashion in general. First point. The second point is what you said. You're coming from languages or journalist. I don't know what you studied. I don't know what you studied, but and this is also good because in fact, marketing jobs are based in three things. One is the idea in itself that is neutral. The other one is the visual, so what we see, and the other one is what we read or we understand or we talk. But when we sell things, we talk, we write. These are the three main points, and you cover pretty well, certainly at least one. Okay, that is the wordings, the languages, the power of wording, and so on. So it's not a disadvantage; it's an advantage. Now you need to be strong also in the other two. But think about the visual. The visual, you don't need to be able to draw. You need to be able to understand the drawings and understand the graphical things in terms of sensitivity and critical things. And then the idea. So at the end, what I'm saying is you have enormous potential. Enormous potential. If you cover this logically that I said, and the business in itself. The business with also numbers and macro and things like that logically you need to learn in general in our master.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. My question was this one.
And the last thing, Simisola certainly said to you, we had some Italian, last year we had one Italian girl, and all the Italians passing are excellent, very good. So I'm Italian, so I'm proud to see excellent students. I hope that also you will continue this.
Thank you. I hope to. Thank you for the answer.
Perfect. So hi, my name is Katrina and I'm from Norway. And thank you so much for your in-depth presentation, Luca. I just have a question in regards to being an online student in this course, because as you said, there's a lot of teamwork and group work. And that's why I would like to know how it's going to be working for the online participants in class?
Okay. The experience on that is different from a blended class than from an online, a full online. Okay. Here in Zoom, we can do groups, as you know. So when I am 100% in Zoom online, I do groups here. So the groups are working remotely by themselves online. This logically is a bit hard because it's not so easy as in a room, but it's a way to do. Then there is the situation of blended classes that would be probably 99% would be all the course similar that. So somebody at home for any reasons and the majority in class, something like that. So the experience here is that it is difficult to mix between residential people and online people, because logically this is a bit awkward, it's a bit strange. So normally in this case we do two blocks, who is online and who is in class, and I follow the two. At the same time, I help the two. So when I go to one group, I will help the group. Then I go online and I help the onliners. But as you can imagine, we use drives. So you groups, you will work remotely with a drive that you can share on Canvas, and you can work on Canvas all together. So at the end, professionally talking, it's exactly like a company. You can be in Norway as you are now and do meetings or work in groups and share the conclusions and present also in the class, etc., etc. Logically, the best is that you are in class, that you make a group and you stay with the group. But if this is not possible, I said there are the two steps: the blended one and the everybody online. That I think that hopefully will not be like that.
And will we make the groups ourselves, or are they already set, or how will it be?
I prefer because I'm the first block. I prefer to let you make the groups, because you probably join people that are together. They like themselves, etc., etc. If it is not possible, I do the groups, but forcing the groups, it's not a good choice, I think.
And how many are usually in one group?
Between 4 and 5 people, maximum 5. The average is 4.
Yeah, okay. And I would also like to ask you, how will you grade the students in
Yeah.
group?
Yeah, there is a way to grade that is quite strict for the final exam that you have for every block. So you need to pass in terms of knowledge, in terms of presentations, in terms of delivery quality, etc., etc. And we use this grid to value your presentation and your work inside the group. Then you have also the peer to peer. So you judge your fellow students also. So it's a blended grade at the end.
And do you grade after participation in class?
I mean, you're asking if the participation is compulsory? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. You cannot stay home and do not participate, because you will not be accepted to present your final project.
Great. And my final question, sorry for taking so much time, but what are the 3 most important things or qualities that you look for in a student to be successful in this master program?
Very good question. I would say, first of all, proactivity. Second, open mind and creativity. And third, team player. I mean, able to work in team and work well in team. But proactivity. So you need to push. I let you run, but you need to run.
Great, thank you so much.
To you. Now, Catherine. Hi. Hello.
Hi, I'm Batuhan. I have a question for you that from your experience, after I graduate from business school, do you suggest that I should get my experience from actual work, getting a job, or expand my education options?
I mean, in Barcelona.
Like in anywhere.
I'm not sure to have understood your question. You're asking if it's a good choice to work and study at the same time, our master? You're asking that?
No, I mean, I'm asking after I graduate from Bachelor of Arts, like, should I get a job to get more experience or study
okay.
more?
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21.
Yeah.
It depends. If you have now a very good job that you love, that it gives you, like in my case, I said to Simisola at the beginning, you to leave up this bit. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 years of jobs. Not bad, not bad. But at the same time, if you apply for a job with a master in your curricula, just 1 year later, think about 1 year later, just 1 year later, and you present your curricula with a master in addition, I have no doubt this is stronger. It's a question of selection. How many bachelors do you have against you? Thousands of thousands. How many masters? Less. How many MBA? Less. How many PhD? Less. It's a question of selection. So at the end, the older you get and the stronger in terms of profession you need to be. But I would say it's also good to accelerate that. For that reason, with our master or any master just finishing the bachelor, I think it's a good question. It's a good choice. One year later, you're just stronger. So that's good. From my point of view, it's a very good choice.
Thank you. That's all of my questions. Thank you for your time.
That's good. That's fantastic. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Woo. We have quite a lot. Normally every year, Turkish people, they are very nice. They are very nice. Good students. Last year, a couple of my students, they wanted to open a restaurant. So there was a couple, I don't remember the name. And they presented what she presented. She presented the thesis opening a restaurant in Barcelona, a Turkish restaurant in Barcelona. I'm not sure they will do, but anyway, she finished. Okay, thanks a lot.
That's great. So I'm really happy to see that all our participants today, so Batihan, Desiree, Catherine, Michelle, you've all been very participative in asking your questions directly to Luca. So Luca, thanks so much for being in today's session. We do have a participant that arrived to the meeting a bit late. So I don't know if you want to introduce yourself and if you have any questions about the marketing and communications program, we'll give you a minute to do so if you are interested in knowing more about the program.
Who is the new one? I don't know.
It's really difficult to
read
his name. It's in Arabic. Okay, well, I guess if there are no more questions there, I do have a last question, and I think it also ties into Catherine's last question for you as well. So you were basically just talking about what you expect from students, and during this conversation today, you've you've said different things in that respect. No, so learning the basics, students should expect that. To see you as a mentor in this program, so basically someone who's going to be following through with them, not only in terms of the course, but also in terms of their professional aspirations, and guiding and, mentoring them through that. You mentioned having an open mind is something that's crucial for the program, and, as an expert marketer as well. Having a critical mindset, being able to be analytical, thinking globally, being proactive, being a team player. So all of those things, I guess, is what you expect from students on the program. My final question is just to, if you can share any advice for, our students today, our potential students today who are looking at joining the program, either this semester or next semester. What word of advice would you give them, Luca?
I would say at the end, to forget the COVID. I mean, we are talking too much about the COVID. Think about the good experience you are starting now. Think about what we said about potentialities. Think about in the positive of COVID, the open mind, the global mindset, the global opportunities. I mean, people are staying home more than before. That also means that you can work from home, from everywhere, in Turkey, in Italy, whatever. What you need is to do the master. Where you do the master? In a fantastic city as Barcelona, in SA. So it's fantastic. You need to have a positive approach for that. I mean, I know that it's not easy because COVID is really like oppressing us with laws, with many things. I would say accomplish the law, but think about that life is enormously potential also. So you need to approach the master. I would prefer that than doing the master like in a glumsy day, a rainy day, and no, there is the sun, and it will be good and fun.
Awesome, that's a great summary. And yeah, so there you have it, Luca, for us today, the tutor of the marketing and communications program. So I've just put in the chat for all of our participants today. I know that there are some of you that joined us really towards the end of the session. So Duan and our other participants, if there are a lot of, I mean, you probably missed basically all of what was said at the beginning. So we do want to encourage you to take out time to meet with us, the admissions staff. I've put a link in the chat where you can book a 45-minute video call. We have had the opportunity to talk with some of the participants in today's session, but I guess there are a couple of you that we still have not yet to contact or to reach out to. So it's really important for us to know where you're coming from, what your career aspirations are, what your current situation is, and what you're expecting for those programs. So we are a school, not a huge campus, we don't have a lot of students, but we do want to get to know all of the students that are in our program and are in our university. So we have that one-to-one approach right from the beginning. So this is an invitation to you, if you've not had that time with us, to connect with us. Let us have a video call. Let's know about you. And let's help you to achieve your dreams and to become, hopefully an expert and, a future marketer with a global outreach. Okay, so
Follow me on LinkedIn. I just remind it's obvious, but I mean, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you can also ask me anything. You have some doubts, tonight having a shower, you have a doubt, you just ask me, I will answer in a few seconds.
Thank you so
Great.
much, Luca. I just followed you on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Great.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining in today. Thanks for everyone. Have a great evening. It's going to be a holiday here in Barcelona tomorrow, so we're going to have an extended weekend. And we wish you all a great weekend. Okay, so thanks for
Thank you so
joining the
much.
session. And
Likewise.
looking forward to hear from all of you.